Hey everybody, Max Aita here, head coach of Team Juggernaut Weightlifting. I'm here to bring you my 5 tips to improve your clean. So the first one is setting up your start position, making sure your start position is perfect. The start position in both the snatch, the clean, and the jerk is super important. You've got to make sure you're dialed in, everything is the way you want it, so that when you start moving, the bar is going exactly where you want. So Janice is going to get set up at the bar here, and there's 3 things we want to make sure we do. First, we want to bring our feet under the bar so that the ball of our foot is directly under the barbell. Then we want to bring our shins to the bar and position our hands on the barbell in the clean grip and line up the shoulders with the barbell with the ball of the foot. So when I look at her from the side, I should see the barbell, the foot, and the shoulder all in one line. There's a little bit of leeway here based on your height, body proportions, to have a small increase. Maybe your shoulders go a tiny bit forward, but basically this is what we're looking for, is to set ourselves up in this position so that every time we grab the bar, we're always in the same spot. From here, she's going to pull smoothly off the ground, do a clean, setting herself up in a great position. One drill or exercise I like to have people do to perfect this is a clean pull up to the knee. So she's going to get set. Before she does a clean, she's going to get set in her start position. She's going to smoothly pull off the ground and then pause at her knee. Then she's going to put the bar back down and then do a clean. This is a great complex to give you some confidence and practice getting set in the start position, and it really helps making sure you dial it in and get consistent starts in the clean. My second tip is to work on fixing the knees, right? We want to make sure that when someone's pulling off the ground, that first pull is great, and as they transition past the knee, we don't lose control of the barbell. We don't shift our weight forward to our toes too fast and not get the bar past the knees properly. When you pull off the ground, the knee should come back to a point where the shin is perpendicular to the floor, and then as you transition past there, the knee should transition back under the bar. So when Janice sets up here, we're going to do a clean. She's going to lift, keeping her heels down on the ground as the bar passes her knee. The goal here is to make sure our knees move back, shins move to a vertical position, and she keeps her heel down as she transitions into the explosion. One exercise that you can use to really improve this is the clean from the hang below the knee. So she's going to stand up, grab the bar, lower the bar down below her knee. Doing this exercise really puts an emphasis on that transition past the knee. She does 2 things when she goes from the hang. First, she's able to lower the barbell into the right spot and keep her low back in a really solid locked-in position. And lowering the barbell to her knee isolates just that transition around the knee. So she gets down a few inches below her knee, and she can find a perfect spot and then initiate that drive through her legs, moving her knees back as she does so, making a really solid transition, keeping her feet and heels flat on the ground. The number 3 point I want to make is to keep your active upper body in the turnover. So a lot of times when people do cleans, they do a good job pulling the bar, but then on the way down, it's just kind of a pull and a prayer, hoping that the bar goes in the right spot. A lot of times the bar will crash on you. It just isn't pretty. So what we want to do is really force people to use their upper body to control the barbell and their body as they move under. So one great drill for this is the power clean with no hook grip. It does a couple of things really well. One, because we don't have a hook grip, we're not going to have as much power from our hips, so she can't necessarily explode as forcefully as she would if she had a full hook grip on the bar. And 2, the power clean is great because it forces you to continue pulling a little bit longer than you normally would in the clean. So we get this nice combination of a very long pull, but with a lot more emphasis on the upper body. So she's going to use her upper body to control that bar and pull against it as she finishes the lift. My 4th tip for improving the clean is to make sure you have a great front rack. So the whole point of having a great front rack, or the whole point of doing a clean really, is so you can do a jerk afterward. So ideally we want to make sure we have a great front rack when we catch the bar so that later it's easier to transition to the jerk when the clean is done. So some of the key points for a great front rack: ideally it'd be nice to have your hand wrapped completely around the barbell. and then have the barbell sit directly behind the front delt here. We don't want to have that bar sitting too far forward low with the weight on her wrists. It's just a bad position. She can get a full grip around the bar, get her elbows up high when she actually racks the weight, and then keep her chest up, eyes forward, and her chin up a little bit. The goal here is getting yourself set into a position where you're really stable and the bar feels like it's almost sitting on your midsection. One cue I like to give people when they catch the bar, when they rack the bar is, if they wear a belt, say, feel the bar on your belt, right? We want to have that force, that weight transferred down her body or torso into her stomach. We don't want to feel like we're holding it up high on our chest. So she does a couple cleans here. We can see that to get into that great position, she's really good about keeping an active upper body. She pulls her elbows high and turns her wrists around very quickly, right? Expecting the bar to land behind the shoulder, expecting it to land in the right spot. My fifth and final point for improving your clean is making sure you have a great recovery out of the hole, okay? So there's a couple of things that go into having a really awesome recovery in the clean. The first is obviously racking the bar properly. We know we need to have a great front rack. We know we need to get the bar in the right spot. But when we actually catch the bar, we want to think about that bar landing on our legs in a way that we feel pressure in the middle of our quads. So if Janice does a clean here and she lands mid-foot and all that pressure is sitting right on her quads, right? Her knee is over her toe. She's in a really solid position to use her leg strength to get up out of the bottom of the clean. Now, if she was to do another clean and she was to let her hips fall back and down a little bit and have too much of her body weight on her heel, definitely not a good position to be in. The only reason she's able to save that is because she has pretty strong lower limbs. So we want to make sure that when we rack the bar and we catch it, we're landing right in the middle of our quads, right? All that pressure, land on the legs is the cue I like to give, okay? In addition to that, the better you catch the bar, the faster you get your rack, the faster your elbows around, the better you receive the bar, the more likely you're going to catch a really solid bounce. So if Janice is to do this again and not stop at the bottom, she should get a very nice, smooth, easy rebound. Great rack, great position in the legs, easily utilizing the leg strength she has to stand up. Now, all things being equal, if you've got a great rack, you're landing in the legs, you're doing a really solid job actually catching the bar, but you're still struggling to get up, then you probably are going to need to add some kind of front squat or belt squat exercises to really build up the strength of your legs so you can actually recover from that deep squat position. If you guys like this video, go ahead and check out the link below to our Snatch manual or any of our online coaching offerings, and don't forget to like and subscribe.